This video presents a framework for establishing consumer sophistication to reverse confusion refusals under the fourth DuPont factor, serving as a diagnostic guide for trademark practitioners. The fourth DuPont factor presents a paradox. Administrative judges often hold that field expertise does not equal trademark awareness, meaning careful buyers can still be confused. However, federal courts frequently conclude that sophisticated purchasers exercise heightened care, heavily weighing against confusion. This tension dissolves when viewed through four interacting variables: the degree of mark similarity, the degree of goods or services relatedness, the composition of the purchaser class, and the actual conditions of purchase. Conditions that defeat the sophistication defense include identical marks and goods, which overpower the defense. Unrestricted identifications trigger the least sophisticated purchaser standard. Bare assertions or attorney arguments lacking documentary evidence carry zero weight. Finally, conflated expertise, where technical knowledge is misidentified as trademark awareness, also defeats the defense. It is a crucial distinction between field expertise, which is often ineffective, and trademark awareness, which is effective. Field expertise is deep knowledge of product specs, while trademark awareness is care-directed at source identification, contract evaluation, and vendor origin. Factual conditions that help avoid confusion include high cost and complexity, which forces deliberative purchasing behavior. Exclusive professional classes insulate transactions from casual consumers. Attenuated procurement, or multi-step cycles, continually reinforce source identity. Distinct purchaser groups involve non-identical goods without overlapping trade channels. Underlying doctrines of sophistication include the price point proxy, where high cost reduces impulse buying. Life events, involving deep personal investment, force extended research. Finally, regulatory gatekeepers interpose scrutiny through structured purchasing environments. Time dispels confusion. Impulse purchases are highly vulnerable to similarity. However, a lengthy process involving research, specs, meetings, and contracts neutralizes confusion risk through repeated source identification steps. There is an absolute limit to buyer care, known as the sophistication ceiling. When marks are identical for identical goods, even highly sophisticated buyers cannot disambiguate them, proving virtually no amount of consumer care can prevent confusion. Advanced defensive postures include mutual sophistication, where both parties target sophisticated actors, doubling the confusion barrier. The something more standard requires examiners in highly deliberative conditions to prove more than mere mark identity to legally establish confusion. Sophistication can be mapped across goods and services. Low-cost consumer goods have high impulse vulnerability. Specialty consumer and alcohol have mixed outcomes, dependent on price and regulation. Enterprise, financial, and healthcare have a strong structural shield. When building the evidentiary record, do not argue sophistication in the abstract. You must restrict the identification to specialized classes, submit documentary evidence, detail the procurement cycle, and prove trademark awareness, not just technical expertise.